Dollar for reading and displaying data, data rendering activities. Star for data binding activities. To bind form component values to string bean properties. We take the support of star or not, guys? We take the support of star symbol. That's good. Am I am I visible, guys? Yeah. So yesterday we have seen how to work with the show report kind of thing. Select operation we completed. There are two forms, one for insertion, one for updation. So let me convert the insertion related form and edit related form page. You take care, right? Edit operation related form page. You take care. Mini project to theme leaf here. Mini project to theme leaf here. Here are my Java resources. Okay. Here are my Java resources. Yeah. SRC static. Here is my JSA email and that templates folder actor underscore register underscore form dot ht. This is my welcome dot html, guys. Copy this. Say paste. This is my welcome.html. This HTML, this actor operation, code operations, registration page, regular form page only. Action is equal to path we have to specify, right? Here no default value have to write because HTML not JSP tags. Tell me here what is there. At the rate, your bracket open and closing slash employee actor API slash what is that? Actor API slash at the rate slash actor API slash register. At the rate slash actor API slash register. Here is my model attribute. What is there, guys? Actor. Mod is equal to post. Mod is equal to post. Here is what? Actor name.
Sudarshan, Sudarshan, how to on your password Wi-Fi? 0902 open. Hotspot. Mhm.
No try timing.
Hmm?
Try timing. When you go, night or daytime?
But
When you go, night or daytime?
daytime, Hussain Sagar, I think.
Today? సూపర్ వచ్చాయని చెప్తున్నాను కదా ఆల్రెడీ వాటర్ ఆఫ్ అయినా కూడా
Sudarshan, please call after some time now. Video is not true.
సరే కొద్దిసేపు అది కాల్ చేస్తాను
Please, sorry. Thanks, please, my name. Today is started rest, spring rest, first day. Wait 2-3 minutes, huh?
Okay.
हाँ सुदर्शन. हेलो. घर पे ऑनलाइन अटेंड कर रहा हूँ. फ़ोन करता थोड़े टाइम में.
services, guys. Will go
Meeting
as a
is being
request
recorded.
body. How output will go as a response body. How inputs will go as a request body. How output will go as a response body. In web service environment, come on, I want reply, guys. In web service environment, that is going to be reverse or not, guys? Okay, there's a request response model. In RMI, we are not technology, they are not request response. So that time, Flipkart.com will call the method of PayPal and sends inputs as a method argument. Once method is executed, return value, whatever value that is written will go back to Flipkart.com or not, guys. Super. The integration layer logics of consumer application is technically called as sub-logics. The integration layer logics of producer application is technically called as skeleton logic. Are you getting my point? Super. The integration layer of consumer is called sub, only for identification. Both are integration layers only for easy identification. Client side integration logics are, server side integration logics are. This is decided in the form of what? Sub and skeleton. Different ways of developing integration logics in Java environment. Different distributed technologies of Java or frameworks. Okay, what is first one? Remote method invocation. EAB, Enterprise Java Bin, Corba, HTTP invoker web services. These are the various possibilities are there to develop a distributed application. Corba is what? Common object request broker architecture. RMI, remote method invocation. Why? What do you mean by Java based boss? Both consumer and producer must be there in Java. What do you mean by can be implemented in multiple languages? Consumer can be there in one language, producer can be there in one language. Not just Java, guys. .NET, anything you can take. Consumer can be there in one language, producer can be there in one language. Not compulsory, it should be there in Java. That's the one reason why web services use it, guys. My PayPal is developed in Java. Consumer is e-commerce website. Different e-commerce website of different technology can start consuming the services. Can start consuming the services. That's the real beauty that is there or not there. That's the real advantage that is happening or not, guys. Super, guys. Non-Java domain distributed technologies. PC, DCOM, distributed computing, .NET remoting, Corba web services. See, Corba and web services common in both places. Why? In Corba and web services, no rule. User and consumer should be there in any single language. They can be there in any language. So Corba and web services I have written in both places. Did you notice that, guys? Did you observe that, guys? Come on. Java-based distributed technology framework is nothing but both consumer application and server application must be there in Java. My is a B HTTP invoker. Multi-language distributed technology or framework means the client and server application can be there in any one language or in two different languages. Web services, Corba. It will be part of what? Web services and Corba or not, guys? Web services and Corba. That's guys. What is first one? RMI. Given by Sun Microsystem. Now we are trying to analyze one by one. See, the sub logics, skeleton logics are called integration layer logic. To develop those logics, we need technologies or framework. In Java, what are the possible technologies we have got, guys? Remaining logics we develop using regular technologies. Service, behavior, they are plain regular one. To develop application to application interaction along with the regular layer, both consumer and producer application should have one extra layer called integration layer, my idea. Should have an extra layer called integration layer or not, guys? Okay. Yeah, right now we are taking one by one. And we'll try to make a web service as the superhit because ultimately web service is the latest one. What are the problems with other distributed technologies we are going to discuss? RMI given by Sun Microsystem, part of JDK software. RMI is not part of JW, it's a part of JDK. It's a language independent. That means both consumer and producer application must be there in Java. PayPal is there in what? Java. PayPal services can be consumed only from those e-commerce websites that are also there in Java. Biggest headache now, boss. How can I force all e-commerce website people you use Java to develop your website? Can I force them? Can I pressurize them, guys? Is it really possible, am I idea or not? That's the one reason why it is outdated. It is platform independent and architecturally neutral, Java based, no? That's why. Cannot be used. Cannot use internet network as communication channel between consumer and producer applications. Uses JRMP as the protocol for communication. For this entire communication, one protocol is used, that is what? JRM. Outdated because of what? EasyAB. Because EasyAB providing better facilities. Does not give any built-in middleware services. The ready-made facilities are like security, transaction management kind of. Secondary logics. Here data will be exchanged in binary format between consumer and what? Producer application. Binary format means zeros and ones. No XML and JSON will be used. XML and JSON will not be used. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on, guys. Web services environment is the best environment for developing distributed application because it makes distributed applications as the extension of web application using HTTP protocol. Okay. This is number one. Web service is nothing but web application. So developing web application is easy. On the knowledge developing what? Web service is easy, right? Number two, interoperability. What's another feature we are having, guys? Interoperability. The client and consumer application can be there in two different languages or technologies or framework running on any OS, having any computer architecture. So that means interoperable now, my dear. Anyone is like interoperability is like what? Intercaste marriage kind of. Anyone can marry anyone. No restriction at all, right? RMI ABs are like what? Same caste marriage. My caste fellow only I will marry, right? Very narrow mind thinking, right, boss? And web service is like what? Forma web services are like what? Intercaste marriage. I am open for anyone, right? Okay, interoperability. Consumer and producer need not to be there in same setup. Anything can be done. That's the reason why industry is preferring web service. Think practically also, boss. I have PayPal and I'm in Java based on EasyAB or RMI. And I'm saying, hey, e-commerce website, you also developed yourself in Java. It's meaningless now, boss. If it's there in web service, E-commerce people can be there in any technology, and web service can be there in any technology. This is really interesting or not, guys? Is AB given by, see, compared to RMA, is AB good, but overall is AB outdated after arrival of web service. Web service has eaten almost every distributed technology that is there in the market, and it is ruling the market from last 10 years. As of now, no alternate for web service also. It's looking like ultimate solution to develop what? Interoperable, okay, distributed application. Is AB. Given by whom? Sun Microsystems. Enhancement of RMI. It is language dependent, same problem. It's great. But again, language dependency is there, that greatness for. It is platform and architecture independent. When use a local area network, internet network as communication channel. Needs the heavyweight EAB container to execute EAB component. For this EAB container, again I need to arrange what? Application server. Again I need to arrange application server software or not, guys? It gives a lot of built-in middleware services. It gives middleware. See, except the language dependency, remaining all are good. But what's the use? That's a major problem, na? How can bank people can ask website people you should also be there in Java? It's impossible, right? Outdated because web service and its what? Heaviness and complexity. It is a technology of JWE module and easy containers of application server software will come as the implementation. Easy containers of application server will come as what? Implementation. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on, everyone. We must deploy developed EAB components in the EAB containers of application server for execution. Tomcat is called as application server from version 7. It is still not providing EAB, so we cannot use Tomcat for EAB, boss. Very complex to learn and execute. Or if you want to insert one record through EAB, I should write 200 lines of code. And container will generate another 200 lines of code. Then only EAB will insert one record. So complex or not, guys. Here data will be exchanged in binary format between consumer and producer application. No XML or JSON is used. Additional configurable optional services that can be applied on the application are called middleware services. Security, logging, auditing, all these are called middleware services. EAB components mean server or provided application of distributed computing that is developed using EAB. That is developed using what? EAB. Convinced, my dear? Come on, everyone. And that is developed using EAB. Okay. Compared to RMA, EAB great, but language dependency is the one reason is failed. Because when compared to web service, it looks like a big problem, and practically it's a very big challenge also. So, guys, almost all the benefits of web service are there, but not popular. Why? It has promised things, but implementation wise failed. 0 on the paper, 0 in the implementation. Korma is like boy promises to girl before marriage. ऐसा तो ना, guys. Okay, after marriage definitely cannot fulfill, right? Because expectations are more generally. Why are you looking at him, right? Huh? What happened, man? Okay. He's in relation, huh? Okay, that's why you are looking at him surprisingly. Okay, all right. Common object request broker architecture. Platform architecture and language independent. Problem is solved now. We can develop producer and consumer services in multiple languages like Java, C, C++. Forby is specification and it will be implemented as what? Ideal. Some new neutral language case. Consumer producer can be there in two different languages or platform or architecture. Forby is complex to learn and apply. Forby is a heavyweight to implement. Forby looks great concept-wise, but gives problems towards implementation. Definitely gives problem towards what? Implementation. Did you realize that, my dear? Come on. What's the next one we are having, guys? Web services. What's the next one we are having? Web services. This is the ultimate one, the one that we are looking for. I can directly give web services, boss, but you never understand benefit of web service if I don't compare with what? Previous web technology. Service is a mechanism of linking applications as customer producer application using protocol HTTP. Like communication protocol is HTTP. But the website distributed application communication protocol is what? HTTP. That web service is extension of web application. Website will have pages in the application will have last to from business payment and that. So every website internally website are not the secondary. Website pages HTML outputs. Web services will never give HTML output. They always use business results, transaction details, payment deduction, this kind of thing. Web service is platform independent, architecture independent, language independent. A producer developed in Java can be consumed in different languages. Web service says developer produce the service anywhere and consume the same service anywhere. This feature is called what? Interoperability. Develop anywhere, consume anywhere. That's the basic concept of what this. Web service may consumer produce application exchanging data either in XML or in JSON. Both are global formats now, boss. Java and other languages have provided multiple APIs, technologies, and framework to implement web service logic as skeletal logics. Integration layer logics of producer and sub logics. Integration layer logics of consumer. Integration layer logics of what? Consumer. Are you getting my point there, guys? Java and other languages have provided multiple APIs, technologies, and framework to implement web service logic as what? Skeletal logic. Web service support HTTP request and HTTP response based method invocation. What invocation, guys? As HTTP request, that means as HTTP request, the consumer invokes the method of producer and the results of method execution goes back to consumer application as HTTP response from provider application. Nothing is there about the communication model between consumer and producer in web services request response model. Consumer generates the request. The request data will act as an input, that is always XML or JSON. Producer executes the business method, generates the result. That result will go back to whom? Consumer as a response body, response content, again in the form of JSON or XML. Again simply in the form of what? JSON or XML. Interesting, my dear. Come on, everyone. Two ways of implementing web services. SOAP-based web services, RESTful web services. SOAP is going down and RESTful is doing well. It's the best. Right now, this is the best. Okay, now listen, guys. What is the difference? In SOAP-based web services, the data exchange is possible only through XML. In RESTful web services, the data exchange is possible in JSON and XML, both in JSON and XML. So, simple object access protocol, REST, representational state transfer web service. It is not a protocol, it's a kind of architecture or mechanism for application to application interaction. It's a kind of architecture. SOAP is a protocol, REST is a mechanism, guys. But right now you remember, boss, SOAP-based web service, data exchange is possible through XML. In RESTful web service, the data exchange is possible what? Yes. Microservices architecture to develop every module as separate project and integrating them as needed. This microservice architecture is built on the top of what? Web service architecture, especially on the top of what? RESTful web service. Microservices is equal to services or modules as projects using RESTful web services plus lots of design pattern implementation less lot of third-party tools for integration. Lot of third-party tools for integration. Everyone getting my point there, guys? Okay. This runs based on how many component principle, guys? Three component principle. Service producer, service consumer, service registry. Where services will be registered to export. In SOAP-based web service architecture, three components are there. Service producer, who develops the producer application, who acts as a producer. Next one, service consumer, who consumes the service. Okay. In between both, one registry will be there. So producer will register the services there. Consumer contacts the registry, gets the information about producer, and using that information develop the consumer code. So that communication happens between producer and what? Consumer. It's like a three components are involved. Check it out, guys. Number one, PhonePe application is developed by as a producer application, guys. Number two, its details are stored into registry. But listen carefully. When producer application is registered, one XML document will be placed in the registry having details about the producer. That is called WSDL document. In short word, it is called WSDL document. What document, guys? When producer is registered with the service registry, okay, entire producer won't be there in registry, guys. Information about producer application and its business method will be there in the form of what? XML content. That too as what document, guys? WSDL document. WSDL document. Are you getting my point, my dear? Come on, everyone. Okay, that's great. Followed by that, what consumer will do, guys? Consumer contacts the service registry. Consumer contacts the service registry. Consumer contacts the service registry. Tell me. Downloads the WSDL document, my dear. Come on, man. Definitely downloads the WSDL document. By understanding that, it will develop the consumer code Come on, guys. Okay, once that is done, we is searching, or is developing consumer code. Once consumer is ready, it will invoke the business methods of producer in the form of request generation. They will execute whatever output that is generated goes back to consumer in the form of response, my dear. Total three operations. Okay. Register, lookup, bind. Register means what? Keeping producer application details in the service registry as what? WSDL document. Consumer contacting service registry and getting what? This DL document. Bind. Okay. Once consumer contacting producer for business method invocation is called what activity? Bind act. Look at the numbers. Number one, we develop producer application. Number two, we register producer application with registry by placing WSDL document inside it. Number three, consumer application contacts the registry and performs a lookup operation on it. Performs what? Lookup operation on it. Are you getting my point there, guys? Number four, by getting WSDL document, consumer application is developed. Number five, okay. Consumer application contacts producer application by using what? SOAP over HTTP request. By using what? SOAP over HTTP. Their business method executed, whatever output generated, that comes back to whom? Consumer application as SOAP over HTTP response. As what, guys? SOAP over HTTP response. Everyone getting my point there, guys? Come on, everyone. Okay. The request carries XML based SOAP message as a request body, nothing but what? Inputs. The HTTP response carries XML based SOAP message as a response body, nothing but what? Output. Simply nothing but what, guys? Output. HTTP response carries XML based SOAP message as response body, nothing but what? Output. Request carries XML based SOAP message as request body, nothing but what? Inputs. Here are my inputs, here are my what? Outputs. Everyone getting my point there or not there, guys? SOAP message is strictly typed or complex or XML message, which will be converted to Java objects and reverse using what? JAX-B. Okay, one technology is there, that is what? JAX-B. Hey, producer gives inputs in the form of XML in the request. But here Java, na, if it are Java is there, the XML should be converted into Java objects here. When producer generates Java results in the form of object, okay, while before sending over the response, it should be converted into XML or not, guys? So that means there should be one technology to convert Java objects data into XML, XML data into Java objects. I'm assuming both consumer and producer are there in Java. Let us assume for a minute. Inputs are given in the form of what? Object. But while sending over the network should be what? XML. So conversion is required. Inputs are coming over the network in the form of what? XML. In producer required as what? Java object. Again conversion is required. Outputs are generated as what? Object. Over network it should go as what? XML. Conversion is required. Outputs are coming to consumer in the form of what? XML. But consumer is expecting in the form of what? Objects. Come on, guys. Okay. For that one, we need a technology or not, guys? That is JAX-B, Java API for XML binding. Java architecture for XML binding. Nothing but converting Java object data to XML content and vice versa. The HTTP request carries XML based SOAP message as a request body, nothing but what? Inputs. The HTTP response carries XML based SOAP message as a response body, nothing but what? Outputs. Simply nothing but what, guys? Outputs. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on, everyone. Along with the request has XML data. Okay, inputs will go. Along with the response as XML data, output will come. Is it not interesting, my dear? Come on, everyone. Java object data to XML conversion is called what? Marshalling. And reverse is called what? Unmarshalling. And we can use JAX-B API for this marshalling and unmarshalling or not, guys? Okay. JAX-B is used for this marshalling and unmarshalling. JAX-B is used for this marshalling and what? Unmarshalling. This is Java object now, boss. This is XML. Product tag, PID 101, PName is price. So using JAX-B API code, conversion is taking place or not? Java object to XML content marshalling. XML content to Java object unmarshalling. Interesting or not, guys? Okay. Consumer sends inputs to producer as a SOAP message in what request? HTTP request as the request structure body. The producer sends output to consumer as a SOAP message in HTTP response as a response structure body. What body, guys? Okay, one is request structure body and one is what? Response. Then what is this SOAP, sir? The inputs are going in the form of XML, outputs are going in the form of XML in request and response. To clear that XML content, set of rules are required, and those rule name is what? SOAP. SOAP is a protocol that use set of rules and guidelines to send request data in the form of XML and to send response data in the form of what? XML. To send request data in the form of XML, to send response data in the form of what? XML. Clear, my dear? HTTP request and HTTP response mainly contains how many sections, guys? 2 sections. One is head, one is body. Okay, now I'm going to show how this is XML content will fit into request and response. First, try to understand structure of HTTP, guys. Okay, guys, this is a head part, guys. This entire part is head, blank line, body part. Within the head, again, 2 things. Initial line, request headers. Initial line, request header. Next, blank line. Here is what? Request body. What initial line contains? Method, path, protocol, and version. Lot of request headers will be there or not there. Then blank line will be there or not there. Lastly, request body and payload will be there or not there. Okay, this is the basic structure of, this is what? Basic structure of HTTP request. What request, guys? Basic structure of HTTP request, guys. Okay. HTTP method, path, protocol, and what? Version. What are the different possible paths, guys? These are the different possible paths or not, guys? Get, post, request modes, Babu. Okay. In normal HTTP request, the request body will be query string having request parameter names and value. SNO 101 ampersand SNAME Raja SADD Hyderabad. In SOAP over HTTP request, the request body will be what? XML based SOAP message. What message, guys? XML based SOAP. This is normal request, guys. Check it out. Normal request. This is normal request structure. See, initial line is there, post wish HTTP 1.1. All these are headers, then blank line and request body. My dear, come on, everyone. What is the difference between get mode and post mode? Get mode will carry form data as query string appended to the URL. Before decide which question mark come, there only it appears. In post mode, form data or inputs will go as the content of the request body or not this. As the content of request body or not this. Array, head part. This is head part. This is body part separated with blank line. In head part, two section. Initial line, request header. Initial line contains basic information about the request. The request headers will carry more information about browser to website or client to web provider. Come on. Then the request body contains request related inputs or not, guys. But in post only, request body will be there. If it is a get, same content will go as query string appended to the URL or not, guys. As query string appended to the URL or not, guys. Okay, check it out. Request header carry more information about client to server along with the generated request. That's great. Post mode request contains a request body representing query string, whereas get mode request does not contain request body because it carries inputs as query string appended to the request URL. This is the post mode body is there. Look at the get mode, guys. The initial line request header, no blank line, no request body. Why? Because to the URL only query string is appended or not, guys. Final conclusion is what? Request structure contain head and body separated with blank line. In the head two section, initial line request headers. In get mode requests, no body because inputs will go as query string appended to the URL. In post mode, there will be body. Come on, guys. There will be body because query string is appended to the URL. Are you getting my point there, guys? Super. Yes, similarly, HTTP response also will have structure numbers. Same head part, body part, blank line. Within the head, what is there? Response line. Okay, and response headers. Reverse boss. Request, how request is there, like response also there. Normal HTTP response, guys. Normal HTTP response contains what? Initial line. Initial line contains what? Protocol and version. Okay, response status code 200. Status code as a message. Okay. These are response headers now, my dear. Come on. These are response. Then what? Blank line. Array, whatever output you write in pw.println, whatever output is coming in view component, that will go to browser in the form of HTTP response. That means basically that contains HTML output or not, guys. Basically that contains HTML output or not, guys. Come on, everyone. Basically, literally, it will contain HTML output. What do you say, guys? Okay, here is my what? Blank line. What is that line, guys? Blank. HTTP response status code. One double X informational. Two double X success. That is status codes above. Three double X redirection. Four double X incomplete. Five double X server side errors. Five double X, what is there? Server side errors. Response headers give additional instruction to browser towards what? Displaying the received response as the web page. Okay. Normal HTTP contain web component generated output, generally HTTP. Okay, as a response body. Whereas SOAP over HTTP response contains what? SOAP message, nothing but what? XML as the response body. Okay, I just introduced it was it's a request structure, a response structure. If it is a normal request, post mode, query string is the request body. Get mode, no request body. Okay, body will go, but as query string appended to the URL. That's why in get mode, URL query string appears in the browser address bar. Response, guys. Every time output will go to browser or client in the form of response. Definitely in the form of what? A response. No doubt in that. That always contains HTML output or not, guys. That always contains HTML output or not. Okay, now listen. If it is SOAP over HTTP request, remaining all are same, but inputs will go in the form of XML, that too according to SOAP protocol. Check it out. SOAP over HTTP request. Initial line regular one, request line. Request headers regular one, blank line regular one. Okay, here you observe. Inputs are username, password, but they are coming according to SOAP messages or not, guys. They are going as SOAP messages or not. Check it out. SOAP related schema namespace importing, SOAP tags are there or not there, guys? Super. Okay. SOAP over HTTP response. Here, what is there? Initial line. Initial line is there. Super, guys. Next one. Here, headers are there or not there, guys? Initial line is there, headers are there. Here is my what, guys? Blank line. Here is my what, guys? Blank line. Then what is that? A response body. This is simply nothing but what, guys? A response body. Header section, blank line. Here is my what? A response body. Message body. SOAP message as what? Response body. SOAP message as what? Response body. SOAP over HTTP response. This is what we have to worry about or not, guys. Come on, everyone. What the clarity, my dear? Okay. See, guys. Initial line, response headers, blank line. Okay, here. Hello, 7. See, this is coming in the form of XML content or not, guys? Login username password is given here and output is coming here. So I hope you do notice the difference, guys. In normal request, query string is the request body. SOAP over HTTP request. SOAP messages, XML tags based SOAP message is the request body. Means, my dear, super. SOAP over HTTP means HTTP request and HTTP response contain SOAP messages as the body or payload. Body is also called payload. SOAP-based web services, if consumer and producers are available in same machine, then communication protocol is what? SOAP over HTTP. In SOAP-based web services, if consumer and producer are available in two different machines, the communication protocol is what? SOAP over HTTP over TCP/IP. Between two machines, how communication happen? TCP/IP. web application, consumer and producer talks using HTTP. But how data is carrying in that process? SOAP base. That's why SOAP over HTTP over TCP/IP. Are you getting my point? So for representing input and output content as XML, HTTP is what? Protocol between consumer and producer. TCP/IP is what? Protocol between two physical computers of what? Consumer and producer application. Right, producer consumer are there in two different missions. How missions talk TCP/IP. How producer consumer talks HTTP. Come on, guys. And how data will be exchanged using SOAP. TCP/IP is a network protocol to get interaction between what? Two physical computers. SOAP over HTTP is what? Application protocol to get interaction between consumer and producer application of the SOAP-based web services. Consumer and producer applications of the SOAP-based web services. What is the final conclusion, guys? So many distributed technologies are there to develop integration layer logics of producer and consumer, sub and skeleton logic. But remaining all are outdated, web services doing well. How many ways are there to implement web service? Two. SOAP based and RESTful. SOAP based is combination of what architecture? Three architecture. Okay, three component architecture: producer, consumer, resistor. Right? In SOAP-based web services, the producer and consumer can exchange data in how many global formats? Only one. For a SOAP-based, only one. RESTful two. SOAP-based, only one. What is that? What is that? XML. Only XML. This XML will go on normal XML or protocol-based XML. What is that protocol? SOAP. Okay. When consumer to producer, along with the request data goes, how does it goes? XML. So SOAP protocol based XML, right? When producer generates the result back to what? Consumer, output comes in the form of response. How does it comes? Normal response or SOAP based response? Yeah, that is what we discussed, guys. I hope you got the basic idea about web services today. Benefited with this session. Okay, like this, I'll also introduce RESTful web services. Then we'll start developing RESTful web services. I think I have to sign in. Huh? Yeah, I'll upload the material later, guys. It is asking me to sign. Keep a set. Google wants to keep. What is this? Two-step verification. Yes, it's me. Yeah, now it's coming back, guys. Sir, batch code, guys. New folder. What is that? Spring Boot Rest. Spring Boot Rest. Right click file upload. Where is this, guys? 1102 na? Thank you, guys. Have a nice day.